permitting to calculate the added value. The World Trade Organization is the forum which, by making rules and solving disputes in accordance with these rules, ensures that international trade can take place smoothly. This enables industries to exploit business opportunities across the globe, and again, your industry is probably one of the best examples of this. And in fact, the multilateral system has now served world business, including your industry, well for over 50 or 60 years. Which is why the relationship between the WTO and the business community, and I'm not only talking of industry, I think I should include trade unions in this global notion of trade community, needs to be one of mutual support. After all, people like you are the ones who are on-the-ground operators of international trade. Of course, governments negotiate trade rules, but governments do not trade with governments. You trade between yourselves and with others, which is why we need this sort of double engine, which is the sort of top-down political will and the sort of bottom-up interest and involvement in business. And at this very crucial stage we may be reaching, we indeed need the support of the business community to seize the moment. And in your case, for instance, there is a proposal on the table calling for the entire elimination of tariffs in this sector, which roughly today amount to a bit more of $500 million US. So if you are interested in making sure that remaining obstacle to trade, although quite a lot of them have disappeared as a result of the new way round, and notably of the multi-fiber agreement, which I think for your business was a major achievement. But if you still believe that you still have obstacles, including in tariffs, then the first thing to do is to push for the conclusion of the negotiation. So, again, it is a negotiation between governments, but the end users and the beneficiaries of trade disciplines are you, the producers, the traders, and at the end of the day, the consumers. And this is why we probably need to understand more about your operations, your ideas, your concerns regarding the international trading system. We need to learn from you which obstacle to trade you have to deal with: tariffs, trade defense, anti-dumping, safeguards, countervailing duties, technical barriers. And I think in turn you also need to know better what we are doing and how the trade rules affect your daily business so that you can establish an order of priority of where your own interaction with the governments that at the end of the day are the lawmakers in WTO, the sort of concern which you may want to bring with them. And we all know, and that's part of the evolving pattern which I mentioned a moment ago, that trade rules are not only about tariffs. And to be frank, in the future, they will not be any more about tariffs, but about more tricky issues which have to do with regulations, safety, again, trade defense, environment-related rules, prudential rules, just to name a few. For the last 3 days, we've hosted a global forum on trade statistics in Geneva, which was jointly operated by the UN Statistics Department, WTO, UNCTAD, and Eurostat. And the theme of this forum was precisely about this question I mentioned a moment ago, which is measuring global trade. Do we have the right numbers? Now, the answer given by almost participants were identical. And the answer is no. We do not have the right numbers on international trade today, or at least the numbers we have do not fully reflect the real picture of international trade in a globalized world. And according to researchers, one of the main factors in the deficiency is the lack of sufficient firm level data. So, as a sort of operational suggestion, I believe that there is a lot we could do together on this front to better associate business needs with international bookmaking. Sort of let's know more about you with the right picture so as to better help you. So, to conclude, the world economy is undergoing fundamental changes with pattern of trade evolving over time. Today, international trade is intricately linked with global production chains and with foreign direct investment, which is in many ways the other side of the coin, although for the moment WTO has no regulatory capacity on foreign direct investment, apart from a little bit of what happens in services negotiations. We all know multinational corporations are playing a fundamental role in international trade activities. We also know that in many continents, small and medium enterprises are also making inroads into the global trading scene. And trade statistics, trade rules, trade negotiations have to adjust to this new global scenario. And many in the WTO think that we should explore new issues such as trade and investment, trade and competition, standards, whether public standards or private standards, in order to advance further business opportunities around the world. But the first thing we need to do, and which is the business of WTO, is to safeguard and promote trading opportunities by concluding the current round. And in order to do that, we need the support of business and labor, your support, and I believe that both have an important role and stake in pushing for the conclusion of the round, because reduction in trade barriers, stronger, clearer, more stable trade rules will boost trade. If we boost trade, we boost efficiency. If we boost efficiency, we boost growth. If we boost growth, we boost development. If we boost development, we boost poverty reduction. So at the end of the day, we all share the same goal, a sort of more prosperous future for this planet, and a successful conclusion of the Doha round will undoubtedly help in this endeavor. I believe the finish line. Maybe in sight, and your support could indeed help us reach the checkered flag. Thank you for your attention.